Welcome to today's 5 Good Minutes on the 10 Commandments. Today we'll be considering the third commandment with Bjorklund.
So don't use the Lord's name in vain. We have said is something that involves not speaking with blatant contempt, not using the Lord's name with casual irreverence. And then I'm going to just add this next idea, and that is speaking with unkept promises, especially when we attach to the Lord's name in some way to it. Leviticus 19:12 says, "You shall not swear by my name falsely, and so profane the name of the Lord your God. I am the Lord." And so to swear or to use the Lord's name and then not follow through is definitely one of those things that is a misuse of the Lord's name. So to say, I swear by my God that I will do X is a misuse of the Lord's name. Or I promise you before Jesus, or I put my hand on the Bible. Now, you may say, well, only if you don't follow through, right? But the issue is you and I are not as solid at following through as we think we are. And we're told in the New Testament to let your yes be yes and your no be no, and that you don't really need to swear or up the ante by using the Lord's name, and that by doing that, what you're doing is you're not revealing that you're actually not a person of character, because you're saying, well, I didn't mean it all these other times, but now I really mean it. So now I swear, and I swear by putting my hand on the Bible and everything that's sacred to me, that I will do this, that you have already revealed that you are not a person who has been honest, that you have not dealt with integrity. And I don't think it would be a stretch of the imagination or a stretch of our exegesis here to say that if our yes is to be yes and our no is to be no, and we aren't to swear by Scripture, that in general unkept promises violate this command in a sense. Because even if you haven't sworn by the name of the Lord, if you are not a person of your word, if you don't do what is said, then you are somebody who is acting in a way that doesn't take the Lord's name seriously and your role as a Christian seriously. There's an old story about Alexander the Great, who was a conqueror of continents back in the day. And he evidently had a young man whose name was Alexander, who ran in battle and didn't stand and fight. And he was brought before Alexander the Great in a moment where he could have faced his execution for not following through. And Alexander the Great said, "Young man, what's your name?" And he said, "Alexander." And Alexander the Great looked at him and he said, "Young man, either change your ways or change your name." And in a sense, not keeping promises is not being true to the name Christian or a follower of Jesus. And so saying or amping up what you want to use as a way to assure people that your word is good is an indication that you need to change ways, that I need to change ways. And so pay attention to how you use your words. Are they true? Are they straight? Can people take what you say as something that is certain? Because if so, then you are in many ways using the Lord's name correctly. But if not, then you or I may simply be using whatever we have as a way against it. You know, one of the ways that this sometimes happens is people say, well, I'm a Christian, I would never do that. Or I'm a good, church-going person, I'm honest. And again, any of those kinds of inferences are drawing the Lord's name in as a way to try to give yourself credit. So let's be wise in how we use the name of the Lord our God.
Thanks for joining us. Be sure to check out all our content and podcasts on Orchard Hill Plus. You can find that and so much more on our website or the Orchard Hill app.